That's it. I'm coming for yours. We're live there. Testing out new seats.
I got new pistons over there.
Pistons? Oh, for the seats. Yeah. I'll do the installation. That shouldn't be too hard. We can bang that out.
John said we need a mallet. That's why I grabbed the rubber mallet.
Oh, a mallet?
Yeah.
Oh, buddy. I got plenty of tools we can use.
Smack something.
Can use a fork truck in the other room. What do you want to do? Oh, let's see. Oh, I got the YouTube notification. We're live. All right. Good there. Good there. Every once in a while, I get a notification from Facebook, and it's like your memories. And I'm like, oh, this ought to be good. This is how old this one is. Ready? Is anyone else's BlackBerry browser running like garbage?
Oh my God.
That's how old that one is.
Holy shit.
I love looking back at these. The 3 people commented. Look at that.
Is it all yet? Mine is junk.
This person, who genuinely do not know who this person is, said, mine's running quite fine. Truthfully, I couldn't even tell you who that person is. Okay. This one says, is that home playing Wii? Wow.
Oh man, Wii was such a wonderful thing. I remember when Wii was out, I had my first apartment with Dennis. Dennis, my roommate.
Yep.
Didn't matter what day it was. After work, we were drinking heavily and would play Wii Sports baseball.
Baseball. Okay, I was gonna ask which one you were into.
Pound of beer every time you hit a home run.
Pound of beer. Okay.
And both of us. It didn't mean like if I hit a home run, he has to vice versa. No, it's whoever when somebody hits a home run, you are pounding said beer.
I really like the Wii Tennis.
Yep, that was
The
fun.
Wii Tennis was good. Bowling was good too.
Yes.
I think they kind of recreated it with the Nintendo Switch.
Did they?
Yeah.
Like full on Wii Sports or just the bowling?
No, like the whole sports suite.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah, bowling was really fun.
Wii bowling was a good time.
Like right now, I wish I had a Wii. We with the kids.
You can go have a Wii if you want.
We with the kids would be hilarious.
Nintendo Switch Sports. Let's see. Yeah, it's just called Nintendo Switch Sports.
I like that.
What sports are in here? Let's see. What do we got? We got golf, soccer, volleyball, bowling, tennis, badminton. Chambra? I don't know what that is.
Rochambeau.
I don't know. But yeah. And it works the same way.
Right, with the little Wiimote, or I'm sorry, the little Switch remote.
Chambra is like sword fighting.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Wow, the bowling looks intense.
That's it.
Way different.
You can bring it back.
We have a Switch somewhere around the house. I don't even no idea
wild.
where it is.
Yeah.
No idea where it is. Let me look up.
Fire it up. Get a few extra controllers.
Jordan Carrero in the chat. Siri, play taps. What are we pouring one out for? We?
Maybe
oh
you broke
no!
his car.
Don't do it on my phone.
Uh-oh.
There we go. Stopped it.
Yeah.
What did I just want to look up? Oh yeah, mail. Jesus, news.
News?
I wanted to pop up some news outlets to see what we have, if anything, before we get rolling.
But you also gotta get those B for B numbies.
Yep. That is right. Let's see. I know one number off the top of my head.
That's good. I can work with that. I just got water all over. Let's see. Oh yeah. Let's lean this back back just a little bit.
Hello, my lovely wife. You do not need to send the email.
Oh, there we go. No email necessary right now.
Nope. I have as much as I hate technology, sometimes when you discover a piece of tech and you're like, get the fuck out of here. That existed. Yeah. Like you telling me we could have been doing that the whole time.
I recently found a, this feature in Chrome has probably been around, I don't know, forever, but to me it's new. So if you just close a window, the next time you open it, you have the option to go in and just restore all the tabs from.
Yep.
So I'd always leave these windows open because I was still using those tabs in some way, shape, or form. So now I just go ahead and boom, restore. And then when I'm done, close everything. I feel better.
I feel. I just sent you a text. Right. I enjoy. I like to close the browser.
Yes.
I like to close. I can't, in my heart of hearts, leave it up. I don't know why.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. I feel the same way, but I had always left it up because I still had stuff I was working on for the next day.
Right.
Maybe it's with my work stuff, it's kind of like 3 or 4 pages that I'm on.
Yeah, you get to a certain
long. And I'd be like, man, I don't really want to leave these open, but whatever. It's all silly stuff that doesn't matter, but in my brain it makes a big deal. Let's do that.
I have bookmarks that I saved from so long ago that the websites aren't even there anymore.
Oh, really?
Yeah. All work stuff, but yeah.
I don't have anything that extreme. Let's add that, and we'll do this. All right, and that equals that. And there we go. We are good to go.
Sweet.
That's that. We don't need that open.
I don't know if my wife is still in the chat listening, but our eldest son just texted me to tell our middle son to answer his phone.
Is that how this works?
That's apparently, I am just a pass-through. I'm just the conduit of communication.
So, are they in the same house together? Because that would be peak
at the moment.
Performance.
At the moment, no.
Okay.
I wouldn't. I would lose my mind.
They're in the same house together.
At the moment, they are not.
Okay.
No. So I'm assuming it is something video game related. One is on somebody else's account or vice versa. And I think that's probably the problem.
Okay. Is that normally what the issue is?
It could be, because if they are home in the same room, I don't necessarily see that bit of communication. So they usually yell at each other confined to their own room. So this could happen more times often than not, but I don't know.
They just scream at each other through walls.
And she just said, he just called me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, not even through walls. They just scream at each other from across the room.
Okay.
Which then brings the result, cause and effect, brings the result for me,
you have to scream?
For me to crash into the room multiple times a day and just be like, what on God's green earth the fuck are you two doing? You are so loud. And it's just like, hey man, it's 10:30 at night.
Yeah.
Or like whatever it could be. I don't know.
Hey man, some of us work.
right. Oh my God. Some of us work. You should see Travis. The kid has turned into a grizzled, you could tell me the kid's got $1 million in his 401k right now, and I'd believe you, because he naps. 5 minutes into my car, nap. He's out.
Really?
Passed out. Out.
I came by the other day, midday. Yesterday midday, and saw him.
Yep.
He was in the same kneeled position looking at the car. Remember we came in, he was looking at the headlights?
Yep.
Same kneeled position.
I heard yesterday he had a day.
Oh, he did?
He had a day, because Kyle sprung. I say sprung. Whatever. Kyle told him in the morning, you're going to be welding today. And that just put him in a tizzy.
Yeah.
And he worked on a bracket for 8 hours. And I don't think it's done yet. Yeah, he had some problems.
Yeah.
Alignment issues, but he's still trying. He's still trying. And that's That's what everybody said. Hey, you're not quitting. That's what Kyle said. You're not quitting.
Yeah.
You're going to finish it. Like, and he wasn't quitting. He was just saying like, no, you're just going to keep working through it.
Yeah.
Figure it out.
It's kind of like what Jake said last week when he was on.
Yeah.
It's like the first time he had to go paint something non-fire truck engine red, or fire engine red.
Right. Or ambulance white or whatever.
Yeah. Took him way too long to do. But yeah, I mean, you gotta figure it out.
Yeah. Go with the flow. It is what it is.
Yeah.
Learn once, keep it going.
Cut many times.
Exactly.
Measure many times. Cut many times.
Cut 3 times, measure once. That's what I always say.
Oh my God. All that wiring I had to run in the Honda, it's like everything's like 4 feet long. Right? Because I'm just like,
I'm giving myself enough runway.
Everything is the length of the vehicle, and it's going from the dash to the front of the car.
I need the runway.
And I was just like, you have no clue how many times I'm going to cut this.
Right. Cut this back and just resolder. Nope. I don't like it.
Yeah. Keep going.
How many lugs or like fittings have you used?
What do you mean?
Cost. Like the ends, like a fork connector, spade connector, that sort of stuff. Ring terminal.
Nothing. Really, there's only 2 things in the whole car that are ring terminal.
Okay.
That I've done, and those are just the mounts of the grounds. Everything else is either like soldered or a Deutsch connector or something like that.
Okay. Right. That's true. So you're not
actually soldered like a continuous connection.
Yep. You're not running through lugs or anything.
Yeah, because I'm really trying not to do like a junction to a junction to like kind of.
Right.
It's just more things that can fail.
Right. And probably will at some point if they're left that way.
I got a few callbacks for it, so we'll dive into that shortly.
All right.
All right.
Let me do that. All good? Yep. 3, 2, 1. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I am Josh Garcia, and this is the Revival Motoring Podcast. As always, I'm joined by Corey.si.
Hello.
It's just he and I here tonight. Shook is away on business, I'd imagine.
Dos amigos.
Chuck just flew in. Literally is.
I think he's on the tarmac right now,
touching down from another country. So we'll hear from him next week. We'll probably see him. I'm sure he's going to be posting because he's going to be very excited. For one, he gets to enjoy his other new car that he just got.
Yes.
And then return to another project of his that came off, was released from paint jail. So I suspect we're going to see a lot of posts from him this weekend. And of course, bald eagles and fireworks.
Oh yeah.
So this is going to be a bit of an abbreviated episode. And why it's going to be an abbreviated episode is because we're going to kind of toy with changing the format moving forward and potentially break podcasts up into 2. And what we mean by that is we're going to do our normal thing, the news, callbacks, all that sort of stuff. But when we have a guest in studio, we would like to provide them the opportunity to leave a little bit sooner. So we'll record with them probably first, then record our stuff. And today was a good trial run for that in particular. We didn't have anybody in studio, but we were recorded with somebody on the West Coast, Tiernan, from Auto T YouTube. We were psyched that he joined us. We are going to release that episode probably in the coming days. So if you're listening to this, that's why this is, dare I say, an abbreviated episode of the normal. It's not 2.5, 3 hours, etc. Might be trimmed down a little bit. So that's why that's what we're going to try to do moving forward. Help us out, help the guests that do come here out. And we toyed with some new tech today that'll allow us to basically reach people from further away. I personally have been hesitant to do that because having a guest in studio, you cannot beat that. However, with this setup that we tried today, seemed to work very, very well. So maybe we're going to do that moving forward a little bit more too.
It was smooth.
Worked out smooth. Better than I could have.
It gives, as a viewer, if you like YouTube, you like watching.
Yep.
It gives you the opportunity to see the guest visually in studio with us, even though they're physically not present. The audio was great. There's no lag, which is nice because sometimes when you do a phone call, there's this like weird laggy thing that happens, and it's hard to adjust to a normal conversation speed with it. But this was just like,
yeah, it just worked
super smooth.
pretty seamless, especially deciding to use this particular new app in like the 11th hour. Because it was literally like, oh, an hour before we record, let me download this and give this a whirl. So,
yeah, I mean, it just worked great. Especially, I mean, we're so well set up here to do all of that.
Right.
And being able to actually use it to its like full potential is really...
Yeah. It truly was good because it was like, oh, hey, all I have to do is change like 2 settings and we're ready to roll. So it worked out pretty good. Hopefully, everybody understands that and we can still bring you the same stuff moving forward, just maybe a little bit more frequently. So with that said, I think we can...
If you'd like to leave a callback number, press 2.
Get right into callbacks.
What do you got?
I have one in particular. The level... Yeah, this really isn't a deep thought. But the level of idiocy, idiocracy, stupidity, shitheadness, dumbassness I see on the roads.
Oh, I got something for this. Okay.
Dude, one that absolutely blew my mind. And I mean blew my mind.
Yeah.
You see people texting and driving all the time. Mm-hmm. What I seen was when I was coming to pick up Travis yesterday. I'm on the highway. I'm in the middle lane, just cruising along, 65, 70, whatever, just normal speed. And then I see a motorcycle in the slow lane doing under what I'm doing. Like I'm going to naturally pass this person. Street bike. As I get closer, I'm like, you got to be fucking kidding me. Both hands off the handlebars, head down, one hand holding the phone, the other hand fingering and texting. Head completely down. And I'm just like, I don't even understand on what planet you think that... And
you've ridden motorcycles.
Yeah.
I haven't.
I just can't, like, how comfortable...
Too comfortable.
False comfort does this dude have to feel to do that on a major highway that is shitty to begin with?
Yeah. Not only that, like, drivers are shitty.
That's exactly
the road,
like
real bad.
At no point would I ever trust, and I don't trust people near me now.
Yeah.
Period.
In a car,
yet alone on a motorcycle. Not quite 5:30 rush hour, but pretty close. It blew my mind.
Wyatt Jordan said it's called natural selection. Listen, I fully agree with that. The problem I have with that is that it affects the person involved with it.
Sort of like,
that isn't the motorcycle.
Just like drunk drivers.
Yeah.
It's just natural selection. Okay, if that was the case, they fucked up.
Yeah.
They ixnay themselves.
Yeah.
Sure. It's the repercussions that they cause after the fact.
For someone else. Yeah.
Yeah.
With that being said, my free 30 months full self-driving is coming to an end, I think like a week.
Okay.
Almost a week. By the time this comes out, this comes out tomorrow. So yeah, maybe like 4 days after that. My overall impressions of it are that, how do I say? It's good on the highway. And I mean good on the highway in the sense like it will pass someone on the right, which is not good.
Oh, right. So that
it will pass someone on the right, like just for no reason.
It makes its own rules.
Yeah, it was, and that's not good. But like the smoothness of the drive is really good on the highway.
Yeah.
When you get into the full self-driving aspect of it and you take it and you put it on like surface streets, where there's a lot of lights, cars pulling in and out, not stop signs necessarily because that's typically in a neighborhood. It's like doesn't react in time like a normal person would. And what I find is it just like angers people around you. So like when you're coming up to a light, if you're full self-driving, it doesn't come up to the light like you would. Like you would stop at the line.
Yep.
It stops like a car length and a half before it.
Yep.
And then it'll like inch its way up a little bit more. And then it stops. And then the person behind you is like, what is going on? It won't right turn on red, but it will pass on the right.
So it almost sounds like it is a new driver who doesn't quite understand the unwritten rules of the road.
Jesse, homie from Maryland, said he turned his free jumper off because it felt like Ultima Driver with it. Yes. I said it felt like a newly licensed 16-year-old.
That's kind of what it's just like. You understand the concept of driving, but you don't quite know, hey,
yeah,
I shouldn't do these certain things.
So with driving, with using it, I feel like I'm on ultra high alert.
Because you don't trust it.
Because I don't trust it. Versus if I was just driving the vehicle myself, I trust myself.
Yep.
So like, I'm not going to miss the full self-driving. The lane keep, the what do you call it, radar or whatever they call it, like cruise control.
Yep.
Like all of those features are great. I definitely can see from Chuck's point of view now when he had him in the X5 and he was a big fan of him, especially when he drives to Vermont like once a week.
Yep.
I can see that being a huge part of like making your drive easier.
Do you think that would help alleviate some stress in basically just getting tired?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I fully understand that now. Owning a vehicle that can do it and spending multiple hours driving a vehicle that can do it. But the full self-driving thing, also, everything now, all documentation, full self-driving, supervised. It never used to say that.
Yep.
It says full self-driving, supervised. Everything now.
Yep.
Everything
so they added that.
It's all added.
Terminology to it.
And there was this whole thing about like how it's not, you should still be like under control of the vehicle at all times. So they're really kind of like obviously protecting themselves. Is what they should do.
Yeah.
I mean, people are dumb to begin with, but like they need to protect themselves.
Yeah.
It's just, it would be different if every single vehicle around you was also doing it, because then it doesn't matter.
And communicating with each other. That's a level of self-driving.
That's what I'm most surprised about is that like when you're driving and you see like on the Tesla map, there's all the cars. I'm surprised that like it doesn't communicate with the other cars in a sense where it shows you. Like that seems like some kind of goofy shit Elon would be like, we can make it so that every single Tesla that picks up on the camera is like the actual model and color of the car versus the other ones are just grayed blobs.
I think at some point we will see something like that.
Yeah.
Now, it's not going to be because the manufacturers want to have it and want to talk to each other.
Yeah.
It'll probably be dictated to us. But think of it as my vague and little understanding of IT stuff. If every vehicle had a specific MAC address, where it could then, that's how they communicate or be recognized, and then talk and do their thing. But at that point,
no,
there's no more us. We don't want that.
No more.
Like
we don't want to go that way.
Like
I want to go back the other way.
And which, there's a handful of different things that I've seen recently that show that there are some people going, whoa, at least raising their hands of maybe we shouldn't dive in.
Yeah. This isn't going to go down the road we think it's going to go down. Other than that, I mean, the car has really been a treat. Yeah, it really has been great. There's no other way to describe it besides like it's just a great tool. You know, like it's a great. I don't have anything great to say about as far as like its driving aspect. It's just a great tool.
Commuter.
Like
It
drives fine.
Yeah.
It drives as if a $41,500 car should.
Yep.
Right? There's nothing outstanding about it.
Yep.
Its acceleration is cool. It's not setting the world on fire fast. It's just a great tool.
It's becoming...
There's no buyer's remorse or leaser's remorse as far as that goes. I've made my first lease payment and I just got an email for my second one.
Yep.
Like, I am happy paying that for what I have.
Yep.
I would not be happy paying that if I was financing. Like if I was financing it at that price, I would not.
If it was going to be owned,
I would want a lot more out of the vehicle than what I'm currently getting at that price.
Yeah,
but
it's kind of like it's created its own. I stress to call it a car.
That's exactly it. When I talk to like people who aren't car people who ask me about it, family members.
Yeah,
it's a great tool.
Yeah,
it's a great get me to work. Get me to run errands, go home tool. That's it.
Yeah.
It's like a washer machine. It's a refrigerator.
Yep.
It's
an appliance. That's
it's a cell phone. It's a cell phone with four wheels is what it is.
Right. There's where it kind of stops being Yeah.
Anything more than that, where people are like, it's like, you know, a high performance, like great handling,
Dude,
like it's going to replace like sports cars. Like it's not.
I unfortunately have the personality to either react or respond to people on Twitter.
Yeah. Oh boy. Yeah.
Which has led me to be algorithmed a bunch of shit that I'm sure is hitting my algorithm to spark my reply and or response.
Really chap your ass.
And I'm just like, these Tesla people are fucking insane.
Yeah.
They ask themselves questions about how great the car is constantly.
Yeah.
And they try
They're
to
having a one-sided conversation.
try to elicit a response because they just want to hear themselves talk or read their own text out loud about the decision that they made regarding it.
Yeah.
And they think it's they think it's God's car, God's chariot.
If it's done anything, it's made me really appreciate all of the other cars.
The rest of the stuff.
It's made me really appreciate them.
Yep.
I miss, like, for example, I'm driving the Mini right now. I miss just feeling a car start.
Yep.
Like, I got in the Mini for the first time after I haven't driven it in a few weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And I got in and I just put my foot on the gas pedal. And it's like, oh, the car's not even on.
Yeah.
It's not even on.
Yeah.
And then, like, you put your foot on the brake, you press the button, and the car starts. You're like, oh, I like that feeling.
Just engaging.
That's right. I actually like
Yeah.
that feeling. I like putting the car in gear.
Something that an EV will never, it'll try to simulate it, but it'll never replicate it.
It's ruined, like, keys for me.
Yeah.
Because you don't need anything.
So that was one of the complaint. That was one of the people posted today, the complaint, shitting on everybody else while bolstering themselves Tesla. Basically saying, I don't understand. And they posted a picture of a Mustang key fob. And it was, I don't understand why other car companies do this. They don't need to do this. There's a phone. But it was just like, dude, what does it fucking matter? Like, just.
Yeah. For me, I have, there's a lot more on here than it needs to be right now.
Yep.
But this is what I had. This is here. This is home. This is other places that I need keys for. I can't tell you how many times I have gotten home and I got to my door and I don't have my keys.
Because you have the phone app on for the car.
And they're in the car. So I got to go back. No, it's just in my driveway. It's not right?
Yeah.
But, I mean, I've driven here.
Yep.
And I don't have the keys.
Yep.
I can't get in.
Yep.
You know, stuff like that. So, like, I'm still fumbling through the key situation.
Right.
You know, I'm not going to keep the keys in my pocket because they're uncomfortable to sit with. But at the same time, I'll figure that out. You know, but other than that, it's been a great tool.
Yeah.
It's been a great tool.
Yeah.
No buyer's, leaser's remorse. It's incredible. Like the saying of like the time that I purchased that vehicle was the day after that. It was the oldest, slowest version of that vehicle.
Oh, because they updated it?
No, just because like technology evolves so fast.
Oh, right. I get what you're saying.
And that just stays static
it's just,
in time.
Right. You buy a new iPhone.
Yeah. No, there's been like fucking 4 software updates for the car.
Yeah. I get that.
So that's like, and in 3 years, when I turn that thing in, it's crazy to think what the Model 3 or what is going to be like at some point, or what even where Rivian's going to stand, or Volkswagen or anyone else in their market for that. You know, we'll see.
There's certainly a place for them. And as we always talk about, at some point they just become the same exact thing because you can't differ them too drastically. So we'll see.
Yeah. I have actually, Jesse J in the chat said, carry the credit card for a backup. iPhone updates will mess up the key every once in a while until it's patched. So I have a Pixel. Yeah. So I have no issues with my key currently, but I should probably put that in my wallet just as a backup.
It is a good, yeah.
I will say, you know what they need to fix? I get phantom text messages when I get in the car. So I get in the car, I'm driving, all of a sudden it says, Sam Dobbins pops up. I'm like, oh, what's Sam want? Hey, I'll meet you at blah, blah, blah at like 10:30. And I'm like, what is he talking about? So I'll reply, what? Or I'll go to reply.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, that was in Texas.
4 months ago.
Yeah, 4 months ago, and I was with them. I'll just get random old text messages.
What
about you text a group the other day?
Yep.
Hey, X, Y, and Z, whatever you said.
Yep.
Respond, or whatever I said back to you. I forget what I said back.
Yep.
And I get home and I look at my phone, and all of a sudden now I'm in a one-on-one text message with you that I think I'm having with the group.
Right, but it did what it wanted to do.
It did what it wanted to do. And that's instances where like Android Auto or Apple CarPlay is far superior than this system. Like cell phone integration. I will say the map system, I've gotten used to that. That's really good. A lot of the other features are all good there, but the cell phone integration has been rough. Catherine, who drives the car, she also gets the phantom text messages, random old text messages. I know if it's something you look up online, like it's a thing.
Yeah.
Whatever.
One little quirky thing.
Yeah.
Hell, I mean, even my watch. I can't remember if it's when the watch dies, because my phone usually never dies. So it might be when the watch dies. It does, and when I turn it back on, boot back up, put it back on the first time, or it reconnects to my phone, I'll get a shit ton of messages and emails.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is a month ago. Like, what is whatever. What I was gonna say. Did read a story about a dude getting stranded in his Tesla because his phone died.
Which is another reason why you should carry that credit card.
And that's what the moral of the story was: carry the card, because he had to somehow get somewhere, flag somebody down, get to a phone to tell wife or somebody, can you grab the credit card
or charge your phone or some sort. Yeah. Just enough to turn it on.
Yeah.
So I wonder what would happen. Oh, you can't. I mean, your phone can't really die while you're driving because it has a wireless charger and it has multiple chargers in the car.
Right.
So you can't really die. I'm just curious, like if it died while you were driving, would the car just shut off and be like,
just like an alternator,
shutting down,
just leaves the chat.
Yeah.
What they need to do is put a wireless charger on the exterior of the car, so if your phone does die, you can just pop it on there for a minute, so you can turn the phone on, and get back in, and then be on your way.
Yeah, they should.
Yeah.
But yeah, other than that, been good.
In due time. Let me just pull up. I changed some apps. Let's see if I can even remember where this actually is. Probably not. Let me just make sure. Oh my God.
Well, will you look that up? I got something that really chaps my ass and grinds my gears.
Okay.
So the other morning, I am in a gas station.
Mm-hmm.
I'm buying 2 drinks. Those 2 drinks come to a total of like $4 and change. I hand the woman on the counter a $10 bill.
Is this a local
establishment? It's not where we just visited.
Okay.
But it is a local establishment. I hand the woman a $10 bill. Now, my $10 bill covers my drinks 2 times. She needs change. She needs to give me change.
And then some, yeah.
As I hand her the 10, I go and take my drinks, and I go to hold my drinks. And she says, please do not remove the merchandise from the counter. It's like, excuse me.
Wait.
I have paid for these.
Was this an older person?
Yes.
Okay.
Now you owe me money.
Yeah. Actually, ma'am, the way this transaction should go, right?
Please do not remove the merchandise from the counter.
I've never heard that one before.
Wild.
That is
wild.
We talk about, and this is an example of how police get a little power, and it might go to their head.
Wild.
This little old lady, I'm assuming, behind the counter is now in a position of power to tell you, no, son, those are my motherfucking drinks until I give you the okay.
I have paid for them. Listen, I ran this through in my head over and over and over. If I was paying with a credit card and it was waiting to show up as approved and I started to take the stuff and I started to walk away,
right?
That's one thing.
Right.
I have given you legal tender over the amount of what I owe you. You now owe me money. I'm going to take whatever I want on this counter.
She's very quick on that audible trigger.
You know what's crazy is like in time, it was so out of pocket.
It's gotten worse.
No, it took me time to process it because it was so wild. It was so wild that I heard it, but I did not understand it.
I got a chicken place she could go work for.
Dude. I put myself back on the counter, got my change, put it in my pocket, and then just like swiped everything off the counter. I was like, this was insane.
That's
Please do not remove the merchandise from the counter.
the merchandise. Like,
It was two monsters, okay?
Dude.
The merchandise.
I mean, or benefit of the doubt, she's seen some shit. Some shit.
It's not a bad area.
Or some, okay. I was going to say some shit went down on her watch. and she just is
This
just.
isn't The Wall in Game of Thrones.
Right.
Dude.
She's just trying to recover.
Unbelievable. And like, again, like credit card, you're waiting for it to process. Someone grabs their stuff, they're walking away, and all of a sudden it says declined.
Right.
Like,
right. There's a problem.
that's a problem.
Yeah. Right. You fit like the most instantaneous way possible. You paid for said merchandise. Oh my God, dude.
The most direct way you can pay for merchandise, I did.
And it was not acceptable.
It was unacceptable to this
Oh
woman.
my God.
Yeah.
I want to go visit. I want to go buy
My
stuff.
dad. He probably used to be in a tight ass librarian. Crazy.
To be
Crazy.
honest, that's how I picture said person is just like a librarian.
I left that place and I talked at the windshield for a long time. A long time. I talked at that windshield. That windshield heard some things.
Vulgar.
Yeah, it heard some things.
Oh my God,
So.
that's a new one. That's a new one for me.
It was a new one for me
I've
too.
not heard. I mean,
If I'm in the area again, I'm just gonna go in just to see if she's there.
right.
I'm gonna take the merchandise off the counter faster.
Or not even put it
Not
on
even
there.
put it down, just hold it, have her
That's
scan it.
exactly. Here you go.
Try and pay with $100 bill.
Oh my-
She's
she's
gonna
gonna-
ever really count out the change.
She's gonna hit the silent alarm before you get 2 steps away from that counter.
Oh my God, crazy.
Jesus, I wonder. Yeah, it's and it's not management. It's her. It's not management. It's her. It's 100%
There's
her.
no way it's a management rule.
Yeah,
That's
no, it's
she's
her.
making up her own.
Yeah.
Did you find what you're looking for?
No, I didn't.
Okay. All right. Last thing I have for a callback. We were talking about it briefly in the pre-party, talking about the Civic stuff. And I totally forgot. Oh, are we talking about the wiring? How I made all the wires that I was running for the car way longer than I knew they needed to be, right? So Josh helped me with this a few weeks back. I don't even know if it was a few weeks. It might have been 2 weeks back. So the car has the UK headlight the headlights are in them. So they have the headlight adjusters, a motor that goes up and down. They have a city light and obviously your standard bulb in the headlight. Now the socket for the city light was always in there, but there was never a plug and it was never wired up. So I really kind of wasn't too sure what was going on with that, and everything always worked. But in the midst of messing with everything else that I've been messing with,
Fixing the horn.
fixing the horn, I was like, you know what? Like, it's probably time. I mean, I bought the pigtails for them. I bought new sockets for them. Like, we should make these work. Had a quick chat with Kyle next door. He said, yep, this would just jump them into your parking lights on the corner. That'll be fine. This way, when the parking lights come on, the city lights will come on. And then when your headlights come on, everything will be good. Okay, good. So we did. And I consulted with Josh. We looked at the little wiring diagram. There's 3 wires. There's a black, which is the ground. There's a red black, which is power. And then there's one that's green and yellow or green and blue, depending on what side of the car you look at. And that says directional, left directional, right directional. Well, if we don't want the city light to blink when we turn the directional on, then we want to use the non-directional wire.
Yep.
So that's how I wired it up.
Theoretically, yes.
So I wired up that way. And I'm like, I need a victory. Last night I was here till like 11, 15-ish. And I was like, I need a victory tonight. Let's add some power to this car. Let's see some headlights on. So I connect all the powers to the car, put the key in, the satisfying sound of the beep, 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 beep in the Honda. And key goes on, and I got my parking lights. Nice, bright orange. Perfect, just the way I want them. Orange bulbs, everything. That's good. And I go around the front of the car, and there's no city lights. And I'm like, oh, that's a drag. Like, I wonder what's up with that. I don't know. Let's see. I'll figure that out later. Whatever. Let's keep moving. Turn on the headlights. Headlights come on. Nice and bright. No flickering. Everyone's happy. Everything looks good. All right, next up. Let's check brakes. Not brakes. Directionals. Hit the directional stalk. Nothing. And I was like, oh my God, I'm too tired. I'm too frustrated. I'm not going to think this through clearly right now.
Yep.
So I go home and all I do is think about it at home. But at least I wasn't at the car. So I couldn't touch the car. I could just think about it, right?
Yep.
Which is safe.
Further, right.
It's just safe. Because if I can
Couldn't
just
get
think about it
further
remotely,
agitated. Yep.
then I can think about it over a long period of time. If you're thinking about it here while you're agitated, you're going to be doing things that like aren't logical.
Yep.
And then you're just digging a hole deeper.
And that's where human error could occur.
Yes.
That's where frustration could occur.
Yeah.
Like somebody we know who recently posted a video of his that I'd long forgotten, but he reminded me of him throwing his hat at his Civic,
Yeah.
which is, you don't want a level of frustration like
I'm
that.
not trying to throw
coming
any
through.
of the car.
Right.
So I leave. I go home. I think about it. Until about 2:30 in the morning. I think about it. And then finally I settled on either just don't have it wired in correctly, right? I could have maybe the bulb is directional.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I have it in backwards. I don't know. I don't even know if it's a thing. I don't know. I don't have the passenger side wired up, so maybe I'm not making complete circuit. And then the last thing I land on is I don't have the hazard switch in the car. And the hazard switch, obviously, operates the directionals for your hazard lights. And I'm thinking maybe that could complete the circuit. So I come in today. I go to pick Donnie's brain next door. Shout out to Donnie. Always super helpful. And he comes over and he's kind of looking. He's kind of scratching his head. And we test for power. And we got power. And everything looks good. And then he's like, where's your hazard switch? I'm like, I was thinking the same thing. What are you thinking? He's like, pops it in. Directionals come right on. Directionals come on. So do the city lights. So I'm like, that's a bummer. Because huge rookie mistake on my end. I wired everything up, soldered it, heat shrunk it, taped it. I was way too confident.
Yep.
I should have literally twisted everything together
And just tested
it before I did anything else.
Yeah.
I didn't. Huge rookie mistake. So I had to untape everything, cut everything back, desolder. I don't even know what's the right word. Desolder everything, and switch it over to the other wire. Maybe I had it backwards. Didn't have it figured out. Whatever. Do all that. Power it on. Hit the directional. Directional turns. So does the city light. So right now I have city lights that act as directionals.
Yeah.
And directionals that act as directional. So theoretically, I can operate the car totally fine.
You're halfway there.
I have directionals.
Yep.
It's city lights blinking is a little weird.
It's not
how it should work.
It's a bit abnormal. But we quickly determined, okay, so you need to put the city lights on a separate circuit.
I think I reached out to a few people, most of which would never answer my questions.
Yep.
No one personally we know, just online internet people who are like too good to answer questions. But
Yep.
hey, it's worth a shot. This one gentleman who answers everything, I'm sure he'll get back to me, but he's not. He's a very strict like U.S. car restoration, Honda specifically.
Yep.
So I don't know if he'd really know or have any input on it.
Because that's my question is, does it have to be on its own circuit with its own switch, or can you do something else?
Should be able to wire it into something else.
But whatever you wire it into, when you turn that on, these will also be on.
So we'll have to figure that out.
So I think, because it's like, I think that was the big thing with the Euro switches in Mark IV, is it allowed you to turn individual components on or all.
Yeah.
So I think that'll be what you have to figure out is individual components on or all.
Yeah.
And then go from there.
Yeah, because like first position on the lighting stock is my parking lights.
Yep.
And in theory, that would turn my parking lights on, my tail lights on,
Yep.
and my city lights on. That should be first position.
Yep.
Second position should be just adding headlights.
Right. So
Everything
you
else would
just
remain on. It would just be now the headlights have
Right.
power.
Yeah. So that's the thing is all those things should blink when you turn on a blinker or your hazards.
Yeah.
Minus the city lights. So how do you isolate those?
Yeah. Minus the city lights. Good news is the headlights don't blink.
That's
If the headlights blink,
you might have to go back to the drawing board.
I might have just bought a car cover and put a car cover over it and called it a day.
No, that's you're close. You're very close.
I literally have here close yet so far away. Yeah.
Close, to drive. Far, if you want the city lights to work properly. That's all.
The city lights and the horn might not make it this season.
It's just
You know what is nice?
that you don't have the horn on that circuit.
Yeah. You know what is nice is I powered on the car, and I connected my phone because it's got a Honda S300.
Yep.
And the version, it's a V3 or V4, whatever it is, has Bluetooth.
Yep.
So I paid for the Honda app.
Yep.
I downloaded it, connected my ECU to my phone via Bluetooth, and fire up the car.
Showed you.
And I've got a full digital dash display.
Ah, that's cool.
I mean, every single parameter that I could have ever even wanted.
Yep.
And I can even add more in. Like if I wanted to run another, an oil temp gauge.
Yep.
I could wire that in, and it would still be visible here.
That's pretty sweet.
But I go in, run a scan of the ECU. Everything actually, it's funny. It's kind of weird.
No weird things like knock sensors
nothing
missing.
Nothing at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything. It says no service engine light, checks okay or whatever.
Yep.
I was like, all right, that feels really good. And then the cluster has just got my brake light because my e-brake's on.
Yep.
And that's it.
Which is huge.
Everything's good.
Again, really huge for having whole engine harness, head-on, everything out.
So
Yeah.
pretty much from shifter forward, all of that has been out.
Redone. Right.
And redone. And then I put my e-brake down and then it's nothing.
Yep.
Totally nothing. The CX models for some reason had an upshift light on them.
Yep.
For maximum fuel economy.
Yep.
And whoever did the swap in that car before me, didn't wire it up correctly. So it from idle instead to upshift. So I always had a green arrow
Yep.
on my cluster, and it was annoying.
Yeah.
During the day, you couldn't really see it. At night, it was really annoying. Not on anymore. So it's good. That's wired up correctly. So it was very, very satisfying. But the city lights, those damn city lights.
Stupid city lights. You just have a problem with all the accessories.
The things that aren't, I guess a horn is kind of necessary.
Yeah, depends who yeah.
Yeah.
Right. It's not
operationally.
Right.
Tell you what,
You're covered.
car
You're covered.
rips.
You're covered. It's just
you probably can have video of me just revving the shit out of this car at 10:30 last night.
just being a Honda kid.
I don't even think it was that late, but yeah, it's good. So small victories,
Yep.
small defeats.
That's it.
I don't know who won the war last night or who won the battle. The war's not over.
I think it's a stalemate.
Stalemate.
Yeah, stalemate. There were some blows exchanged.
Tell you what, though, dude, when I storm Omaha Beach, it's going to be a hell of a day. It's going to be a hell of a day.
Oh, God. Memories. Movies might be made over that.
When I get this thing to my driveway and watch it for the first time.
Oh, my God.
Excitement.
And that guy drives by asking if you're going to sell it.
I've never seen that vehicle again, which weirds me out even more.
Yep. Yep, for sure. Let's see. Big shouts. Actually, we'll do this real quick. Big shouts to the boys, Zach D. Bootsy, for their Craft and Cars event. Looks like it went off without a hitch. Location looks super, super cool. So be sure to follow Craft and Cars on Instagram for more of their G2Gs.
I know that was a big bummer not being able to get to that.
Yeah,
For me, that was a big bummer.
It was definitely FOMO after the
Yeah.
fact. I'm like, man, I wish I had
Sure.
my car sorted and go and all that
Yeah.
sort of stuff.
We missed it right at the top of the hour. Donut meet this Sunday,
True.
7/7.
Yep.
That means July 7th.
Bring your sparklers.
Bring your sparklers.
Not really. Bring your donuts.
Bring your red, white, and blue gear.
Yep. Yep. We've got a sign to give away.
We got another sign to give away. I printed them.
Yep.
They look real fancy.
Pretty into them.
You guessed it. The theme was red, white, and blue.
Yep. Turns out. America.
Turns out. But yeah, this Sunday, July 7th.
Yep.
Josh posted about it on the gram. I'll get some posts up out there about it. People can share it. Tell your friends. Tell your mothers. Tell your friends' mothers. Tell your mother's friends.
All of it.
If someone can bring Jordan's mother, I'll pay you.
I mean, what there's never a better time to celebrate.
Jordan's mother on the July 7th? That's great. Yeah.
Double D603. I heard Josh is going no pants on Sunday, and he'll be hosting ring toss with donuts, and he's the target. I mean, do you remember when TV was TV and Howard Stern would play anal ring toss on the E Network?
Yeah.
Dude,
Now he won't leave his tower.
Dude, won't even leave his house to record.
Yeah.
As probably a $20 million recording studio in his basement. My God.
Well,
I will not be receiving any donuts physically, but I will wear shorts. So there's that. Big shouts to Jordan.
weather is looking very nice.
Is
right
it?
now.
I honestly
It is
haven't
looking
looked.
very nice right now.
That'd be sweet. That'd be nice to catch a solid day for the first time this year that isn't cold or raining.
Yeah, it's been weird. Weird weather.
We get super lucky last year, so I get it.
Yeah.
The other thing I wanted to mention once again on the grams, if you go to Staggered NE, which you should on Instagram, New England Motorsports Festival. They are very active on their Instagrams, posting all the stuff, getting everybody all psyched for the Staggered Auto Show, or you can go to staggeredautoshow.com. Staggered NE on Instagram was again coming up August 30th through September 1st of 2024 at Thompson. So go check that out. Follow that, all that good stuff. We want to support our friends and, help make those events as good as they possibly can be. So with that said, I think we can do a brief B for B. What is B for B, you ask? B for B stands for Bucks for the Boys. Bucks for the Boys is how we monetize this podcast and keep things going, allowing us to reach other people out there via the internets. We have to purchase some tech to do that, and this is how we do it with your support. So B for B, Bucks for the Boys. You can go to our website, revivalmotoring.com, where you can sign up for a sustainable donation, $2, $5, $10, $20, whatever you want to do. You can even manipulate those and give us $4 if you really wanted to. But you go to that website, you sign up. It is a subscription-based program where once a month you'll be hit on whatever credit card or device you use to pay us, or pay to that, not directly us, because everybody takes a hit, I will tell you. So that eventually makes its way to us, and that's how we keep the lights on, pay the rent, and keep things going here at Revival. We do truly appreciate everybody who signs up for that. So if you do sign up for that, once a month we will be sending a gift to somebody. Matter of fact, let's see what I did. So just the other day,
We're supposed to be giving away something today.
we do have something. It's over there. It's actually right on top of that box. We can grab that. I can grab that in a moment when Corey's going over the numbers. So we do pick a winner, and we'll pick a winner today. We have something in particular that I've been working with TD's MFG in development to make something a little bit cooler, a little something more unique and specific to the B for B winners. We were doing some skateboards. That seemed to work out pretty good. We probably will do that at some point as well, but wanted to make it a little bit easier on us to have this stuff readily available and ship to a winner instantaneously. So with that said, we will present some new stuff. But again, B for B, revivalmotoring.com. It helps us. We understand it's tough times. We get it. Nobody wants to actually admit it, but when food costs 4 times as much as it did, who knows what gas is going to do? Flip a coin, it seems, on what day. But things are more expensive. So if you can't support us monetarily, you can support us by sharing this episode, all of our other episodes, our YouTube channel, our social media, sharing whatever, sharing us, spreading the gospel of Revival Motoring to your friends, family, and whoever will listen. Hey, we've been told somebody once played it on a plane, and they didn't land the plane.
Did an emergency land?
They didn't emergency land the
Yeah.
plane. They eventually landed the plane as it should.
Into the ocean.
It was MH370 or whatever it was. So you can play it for other people, get them hooked. We're pretty confident once they listen to us. I don't know if it's our voices or something like that. Once you get past the annoyance, you might learn to love us. Mm-hmm. So if you do that, share us. That helps just as much. You can send us news articles. You can send us different things that you find throughout the world, throughout the internet, funny stuff, license plates. We enjoy seeing all that. So you can hit our DMs, even send an email. Literally, if you hit info@revivalmotoring.com, or any of our names at revivalmotoring.com. That's going to probably be the email. So you can send us stuff there as well. We appreciate all that. It truly does help. With that said, every week, we have a rating system to tell us how good the last episode was, or just how we're doing in general. And it's a rough idea. You know, you get it. It's kind of funny. It's kind of sad sometimes as well. But it at least gives us an idea of what's happening, so we can try to figure this thing out long term. So with that said, Corey's going to bring up the BPL, and I'm going to go grab the gift we're going to give away.
Sweet. I will have to say that last week's episode, the reception for last week's episode of learning about, automotive painting career, what it actually takes, what it's like to get into it, Jake's story, his workflow, what he encounters, everything like that was extremely well received by everyone that I talked to and who decided to reach out to me. I know people reached out to him directly. So, I mean, that was a big one for us. It was really cool to hear. And Grapevine's telling us that Big Body Mike might want to come on and talk some shit.
Oh, boy. Can we get a duel? Both of them at the same time?
We definitely could. Yeah, we
All
definitely
right.
could.
I
We
think
could get
I'd
a dueling painters,
Yeah.
a dad and son kind of team going there.
Love that.
I don't know how well they work together, but hey.
We're going to find out.
We're going to find out. No, I know his dad knows what's going on with the podcast, knew he was on it, and gave it a listen, and had some interest in some input. So
Yeah.
it'd be cool in the future. Revisit it at some point.
I'm all for that.
With that being said, our B for B for last week's episode was 18 cents per listen.
18 cents. Okay.
18 cents. Well received. We
Yep.
received it. You received it.
Yep. Everybody's receiving.
Everyone's taking it.
We're just giving whatever we can take.
Yeah.
So big shouts to everybody who chimed in for that. Oh shit. Duh. I need to do the most important thing.
Oh no.
And that is navigate to where I can actually pick said winner. If you want to just give me a moment. Actually, here we go. You can explain exactly what we're going to give away.
Oh boy, can I ever. All right. So we have talked multiple times on this show about the greatness of TD's Leatherwork. TD's is one of our, I would say, most OG listeners from the very, very, very early days of Revival Motoring. And I believe it was during COVID, TD's was like, you know what? I'm going to find something better to do with my time. And what he did is he got really, really good at making things out of leather. Wallets, belts, key holders like this here. This one says Revival Motoring, TD's Manufacturing. He got really good. I know Chuck has one. Josh rocks one. We've had some before. I've talked about my leather, like valet tray. I throw all my stuff in at the end of the night. He's gotten very good at his stuff. He's gone to shows now, and he sells his wares. And he sells out, and we're stoked for him. But he also loves supporting us. So he's made us this key holder here, leather key chain-ish thing. I don't know what these are really called technically.
It's definitely keychain.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, it's got a little leather ring on it.
Yeah.
To hold it. I don't even know. Yeah.
And then he's also made, everyone knows what a little tree is, little tree thing here. He has made a leather version of a little tree that is stamped Revival Motoring. And you might be saying to yourself, you know what? I can just go to TD's website and I could buy this, instead of me having to donate to Bucks for the Boys. Wrong. You can buy them. However, you cannot buy them, have them say Revival Motoring. So Revival Motoring merch like this, I can't call it merch because you can't buy it. And that's what my whole point is. The only way to get this stuff is to donate to Bucks for the Boys. And lucky winners each month will be receiving these little pieces here. This is pretty cool. I might have to donate and hope I win because I'd like to hang this up in the window here.
That in particular, as I forget, I don't know the actual name of it.
You said it was kind of like ghost leather.
TD's calls it like a ghost leather because it's kind of gray, but it patinas and wears darker.
So as you touch it or as it kind of marks up, it will leave those marks behind and expose a really cool leather color underneath. I think something like this keychain here is gonna wear really, really cool over time. So
Yeah.
shout out to
gonna-
TDs. Shout out to him for supporting us. Shout out to all the B4B subscribers. You're gonna get some cool stuff.
Yes.
And so it's Josh this stuff and some other random.
Yeah, we'll
doodads
put
we
in
got
some.
hanging around.
As always, we've got stickers, some air fresheners, things like that. We'll put in a little package and get it on out, which will be pretty good and easy for us to
Quick
do.
and efficient.
Yeah, exactly. And it's a one-off thing. Well, not one-off. I'm sorry. All B4B winners, month to month to month, will receive this probably moving forward. That's what the ultimate plan is. Have this. The only way you can get one of those or that setup is to support the B4B and ultimately win, because we won't sell those on the web store or anything like that. So that's the plan. Big shouts to TDs. So with that said, we can pick a winner on the screen. If you're not
got here?
watching on YouTube,
A giant number picker wheel.
we got the big spinny wheel of happiness. We're going to spin this thing and we can pick a winner.
Oh, we're
now.
spinning. We're spinning. No whammies, and stop. I was close.
It was very close.
What do we got? Number 14.
Oh, jeez,
Wow.
that's super easy.
Number
Let's
14.
see.
How good would it be if TD's won his own thing here? Number 14. Yeah, that's like day one of B4B type stuff.
We have to go to Timothy K.
Timothy K.
Timothy K.
Who are you, Timothy K?
B4B sub. Let's see. I'm just trying to
I
see.
wonder if I can go
And if it shows me.
Tim K. Tim Kennedy?
No.
No, I was hoping.
No,
Tim Kennedy.
I mean, I don't want to blow up the dudes. Just Tim K. Local,
Yeah, shouts to Tim K.
Rhode Islander, it looks like,
No.
and pretty long-term B4B subscriber.
And number 14? Number 14 is like,
This is a little bit different. This system, it all is in front of me,
yeah.
but it's not the spreadsheet we were working off of.
Oh, okay.
So this, in fact, it gets even more random. Let's put it that way.
Oh, wow. All right.
Yeah. So it's not that direct
Because our previous layout was listed in order of like,
sub
Yeah,
time
sub number.
This because this helps me view the active instantaneously,
gotcha.
so we don't have to kind of do any legwork after the fact, which is great.
That is really
But
good.
Tim K, thank you very much. We will get this stuff out to you in the next couple days, realistically by the end of this week, if not next week. So
Hey, Tim K, if you hear this, come by the donut meet.
big shouts. You do, right? Yeah, I'll keep the stuff here until after Sunday, so we can do that, make it a little bit easier. But big shouts. Thank you. Actually, we'll send you an email so a bunch of Tim K's don't show up and I don't know who's who.
Like, I need your credit card info to confirm this.
Right. Just want to make sure. So big shouts. Thank you very much. Thank you to all the B4B subscribers. That truly helps us keep the show on the road. And that's all I have regarding that. So I suppose we can get into some news.
As if there was much.
Yeah, I don't really think so. There's a giant recall on the Ford Mustang. As of 4 hours ago. You know what's really funny? I'm still getting calls from my Ford Mustang
Really?
about the airbag, probably once to twice a week. However, this is pretty wild. Ford recalls Mustang because steering wheel may turn unintentionally.
That's wild.
Maybe this has been happening for years.
Oh, this is what all the crashes
This
were
is
from?
it. This is the 32nd recall issued by Ford since the beginning of the year. Interesting. Let's see. Another recall. This one involves 30,735 Mustangs from 2022 and 2023 that could have steering issues. The good news, Ford isn't aware of any accidents or injuries resulting, of course they're not, from the problem. The bad news for Ford fans anyway is that a whole new slate of jokes about Mustangs crashing is about to begin. You are not wrong, sir, whoever wrote this article, Mr. Christopher Smith. The recall notice doesn't specify between EcoBoost or GT trim, so it appears to be an all-encompassing issue regardless of trim. According to the recall, a secondary digital torque sensor, because that's needed on everything, may have been calibrated with an inverted polarity. That's technical speak for saying the steering gear was improperly calibrated, and since this era Mustang uses electronic steering, a failing sensor could cause the steering wheel to oscillate back and forth when the driver tries to turn. Not good.
So, is that vehicle, does it have an electric steering rack?
Electric steering rack.
See, that's the problem.
Drive by wire. That's exactly.
That's the problem.
Yeah, go back. We need fucking rack and pinion.
I don't know about that. Let's just go back to like hydraulic, like steering.
Mechanical steering.
Yeah.
It's okay.
In other Ford news, Ford CEO wants Americans to, quote unquote, get back in love with small cars that Ford gave up on. So Jim Farley, who I can't not see as Chris Farley now, says that buyers need to get over their love for monster vehicles. Now, Ford ditched the cars like
The Focus, the Fiesta.
yeah. I mean, what, 5, 6, whatever years ago it was at this point, and kind of exclusively went towards like the CUV, SUV pickup truck platform, right? And I don't know what this newfound, like, hey, we got to get back to like small cars are okay now type situation. This article seems to kind of break it down and think that it is the EV cost of it all. So, like, with large vehicles that Ford currently sells, that requires extremely large battery packs to make them do what they need to do to make them sellable. Versus if it was a smaller vehicle, like even a Maverick. Maverick's a pretty small vehicle, but even like a sedan or a hatch, like their battery cost would come way, way, way down, and they'd be able to efficiently make EV vehicles. That's what this article's take is.
I mean, I'm sure it's some of that. I'm
Yeah.
sure there's some analytical data that quote is being driven by. Like, I mean, it just makes sense. Hey, if we make everything big, at some point, we're going to run out of big vehicles to sell. So, and people are going to lean towards the F-150, or they're going to pick whatever they want.
Yeah.
Versus, hey, we have 7 different versions or 7 different vehicles that are similar to the Explorer.
Yeah.
Well, it turns out only the Explorer sells as much.
Yeah. And I don't
Maybe.
know if I'm interpreting it as a hatch or sedan situation.
Or just something.
They could mean something more like,
A smaller SUV.
yeah, like they could literally just mean like, hey, buy more CUVs. Because you look at the Mustang Mach-E, not a big vehicle.
It's not that big, no.
Not a big vehicle.
No.
Like, they could purely mean like, hey, let's just not sell as many. Not everyone needs an F-150,
Right.
which is insane for them to say. Because without the F-150,
That would
I think they'd be out of business.
pretty damn close.
You know, because I don't think the Mustang is enough to support.
No,
Ford,
certainly not on
you
its
know?
not as a whole by itself. Absolutely.
You know, so it's a wild statement for them to make, or no, I don't want to say them, but for Jim to make. But I mean, this article's take is the cost of batteries, which, you know, year after year after year we hear about how the coming years the battery prices are really going to come down because the battery tech's really going to advance and this, that, and the other thing.
Right.
I mean, like I was talking about earlier with the Tesla I have, like in 3 years it's going to be crazy to see what the batteries are like, but they also could be the same.
Right. Because the batteries, I mean,
It also just could be entirely the same.
we heard about the solid state batteries probably 3-ish years ago, 4 years ago, and
Yeah.
they've still not come to fruition for whatever reason. Yeah, I don't know.
Could just be affordability.
Right. At some point.
Yeah, at
or
some point it
just
just doesn't make sense to have them.
demand of components that are available to make said
Yeah.
batteries. Who knows?
Yeah, so I don't really know where they're coming from. I know what this article says they're coming from. I don't know if it's really speaking from Ford's exact point of view. You know, I think that they maybe might have seen the success that the Maverick was or still is.
Yep.
I mean, we talked about earlier with Tiernan in that interview we did. We talked about how many C8s we see.
Yep.
I mean, I don't know how many Mavericks you see every day. Personally, I see a lot. I see more than I ever have before, which I know is a pretty dumb thing to say because every day more of them are sold.
Yeah.
Right. But I mean, there was a point in time where that vehicle was out. You weren't able to get it. You weren't able to buy it. And like when you saw one, you were like, whoa, I can't believe someone's actually gotten one of those things. And now it's like, I see them fleet vehicles. I see the hybrid versions. I see not hybrid versions, every color under the sun. And they almost completely melt away and blend in now.
So that's what I was going to say is I see at least a couple a day. I guess surprisingly, but not surprisingly, a lot of them in fleet form.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
each time I see one, I'm still like, I want one of those.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's really cool.
I wish, like, if this was accurate, I don't know if you can even find one for this much, but $23,920 for the XL model.
I mean, yeah, I don't think that's an issue anymore.
Which is pretty damn good.
Yeah, I don't think that's an issue anymore. If that's right off of Ford's website, I'm sure once it gets to the dealership, it's probably almost 25, right?
Yep.
But I don't think that's an issue to really do anymore. Especially with I mean, I haven't looked into buying a Maverick in a long time, probably close to a year. But, I mean, I see them on dealers' lots. I see a lot more of them driving around. I see a lot of them on, like, the car sale websites still. I actually had to turn off my like car finder notifications for them because it was just like, I mean, I don't need to know about this stuff anymore.
Just
I'm
too
not
much.
buying one. Yeah, I'm just not buying one. But yeah, I don't know. It looks cool. Still think like there's a lot of juice to squeeze from that fruit. Like there's a lot of different variants you can do. You know, there's still an option for an ST variant, you know, that's rumored. There's still an option for something above the Tremor package, you know, and I don't know, like a full Raptor trim. I think full Raptor trim on a, what do you call it, would be a little weird, right?
On a Maverick.
On a Maverick, but I still think there's maybe something a little bit above that.
Yeah, it's got, I mean, even the packages that it has here, highest one being the Tremor pack at 35 for the XLT. Wow. You can actually, well, I don't know what you have to put down, so that changes it. Lease wise,
Yeah.
this current price that it's showing me isn't too bad, but I'm sure that's with
Yeah. It's probably
with something
4.5
down.
or something down,
yeah.
which is a huge chunk of
Right. So
of
to
change.
just pay on a lease, just yeah.
Yeah. It's a huge chunk of change to put down. So, I mean, I don't know that I've seen any out there doing anything other than, that's not true. I've seen stuff in the beds of them. I definitely haven't seen anyone tow anything yet.
Right.
You know?
Right.
I'm interested the first time I get to see, the first time I get to tow something would be interesting.
There is, a lot of these that I'm seeing. Oh, there is one that's 25. Most of them are way, way up.
Yeah, most of them are pretty, you can get pretty wild with speccing one of those things out. Like you can throw a lot of stuff, a lot of accessories at it.
Yeah, there's one at a local Ford dealer that's an XL with MSRP of $25,410.
I bet you can make that happen.
Click to see monthly price.
Monthly price. What's that going to be? That's going to be $520 something.
Depends how much you put down, but
Yeah.
with zero down, well, it depends what your term is too. If you're going 60 months, $500.
500.
48 months, 69. Oh, Jesus. 24 months, way too much.
24 months.
You can stretch.
Let me get a 6-month loan on this bad
Yeah,
Larry.
you can stretch it 72 with zero down. You're at 434.
Yeah.
Yeah. These things are really cool. I like them.
So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. Why don't you make small vehicles for Americans to buy Ford? Why don't you do that?
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. And I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong by saying there's still a market for smaller, compact cars.
There's definitely a market for it.
That's like, you can't tell me there isn't. I mean, look at Volkswagen teaming up with Rivian.
Yeah.
And I mean, Rivian's one of their most talked about, I think it's concept, but that little SUV that looked like a Mark II, car that looked like a Mark II. That's going to be a hit if that actually comes out.
Yeah. Just while we're still on the Ford thing, if I look at what Ford sells right now for what I would say is a small vehicle, I have the Escape, maybe the Mustang Mach-E, which I don't think is a small vehicle. I think it's a smaller vehicle.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a small vehicle. I have the Maverick, and I mean, that's it. Everything else is a larger Bronco Sport, Bronco, Expedition, Edge, Explorer. Those are all bigger vehicles.
Yeah.
Trucks and vans. Ranger. I guess the Ranger is kind of small. It's like schmedium.
Yeah,
You know?
definitely schmedium.
F-150, the Super Duty. You know, the Transit, the E-Transit, the F-150 Lightning. Like those aren't small. How can you tell? Hey, fall in love with cars we don't make.
Right, right.
Hey, look elsewhere. Shop somewhere else.
Yeah,
It's kind of how it comes off.
yeah.
I could be way out of line with how I view this. It could be. I don't think I am. Could be though.
I think their opinion, just like everything, their opinion's going to change,
Yeah.
and they're going to look at the market and go, we're missing something here.
Yeah.
Or again, that opinion's derived from the analytics in success of the Maverick.
Yeah.
If Chuck was here, we would have the ding, the
Yeah.
dead noise.
Yeah.
4-cylinder Supra, Ixnay on the ombre, dead in the water,
Dead in the water.
gone, no more.
I forget, but the first 4-cylinder. What was the price point of the 4-cylinder Supra over the BRZ?
Well, I have that pretty much right in front of me.
Because I don't. It'd be tough. It'd be tough. I have to hear the price. Not knowing the price, I'm
was-
buying the Supra 10 times out of 10.
Over the BRZ was pretty significant, I thought.
Okay. Well, if I didn't know the price and I'm buying the Supra 10 times out of 10, purely just based off of visual like looks.
What is it called? The 86, right?
Yeah, sure, something like that.
Toyota 86. GR86, that's what it is. So it's significant. It's about $16,000 differential.
I'm buying the 86 10 times out of 10 for 16 grand.
Yeah, MSRP on the GR86. We're talking base of bases, just what's on my screen here. 2.4 liter 4-cylinder, 228 horsepower. GR86, $29,300. Whereas the 2 liter twin scroll single turbo inline 4-cylinder Supra, $46,440.
Mamma mia.
Talk about a car they didn't need to make
Who's buying?
at all. I would love to see how many they sold.
What is the horsepower difference?
Good question.
Because what the GR made like 210 or something
255
out of the what?
out of the Supra,
Okay.
228 out of the GR.
Who's buying the Supra?
There is almost
I almost bought the Supra just sitting here at this table not knowing the price.
there is no reason to buy the 4-cylinder Supra.
No wonder why. Why would you make it? Why would you even do it? Think of the hassle to go through to market this car and put this engine in it and,
Hell,
and develop it and
changing the line to a certain extent.
do
when they have to
everything you need to do
manufacture it.
for a car that no one asked for and no one needed. Like, I don't. Yeah, okay, Jesse J in the chat. GR86 and an aluminum race trailer for the same money. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a great point.
Yeah. And then, like, there's not, now I'm not going to build one like the 2 liter Supra. So I don't want to see what you can build it up to, but needless to say, the actual Supra starts at 55.
Yeah.
So about a little less than 10,000 grand more,
Yeah.
you can have the real Supra. So imagine somebody who just every optioned the 4-cylinder Supra. It was like, got my ride.
Got my
Just
ride.
paid $64,000 for this fucking 4-cylinder Supra.
Yeah. Well, hey, you know,
And maybe they wanted to be more fuel efficient.
not everyone's a winner. You were talking about the VW and or
Rivian.
the Scout Rivian coal thing there.
Yeah.
$5 billion.
Well, VW, I guess, made a bigger investment, so they just kind of shored up assets.
$5.3 billion US. Yeah. You know, here's my thing. And this is like a perfect segue off of two cars that, or a vehicle that is made that's by a dual manufacturer vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, both cars were BMW and Toyota, and then Toyota and Subaru at one point.
Yep.
What if the new Scout is just a later modeled Rivian? Because the
Right,
new
so
Scouts,
same thing, just rebadged.
the new Scouts are supposed to be like, I think like 50.
Yep.
Like
Yeah.
that's it. And meanwhile, Rivians are 90 or 100.
From a manufacturing standpoint, that would make a lot of sense.
What if Volkswagen could be like, all right, well then we can help you with actual producing vehicles at some sort of reasonable clip, right? And we now just put a Scout badge on these.
Yeah. Take away some specific features.
Yeah. Change up a little bit, obviously.
Yeah. Facelift, or face change.
Because the deal keeps highlighting software. It keeps highlighting software for vehicle platforms.
Yep.
What kind of software?
Right. How good is Rivian software that Volkswagen basically wants to buy to use it or invest in it? Like, what is it doing that's so?
But is it a point where Volkswagen's like, yeah, well, we want the Scout line to get off the ground, right? I mean, our ID line is just, yeah, it's a stale fart, and it's just like, we know Rivian is like the R2 and the R3, right? They've showed them to us. We don't really have too much of a time frame.
Also, a car, both R1T and R1S appear on a daily basis now.
Yeah, we saw two.
Yeah, just
on our way to and from dinner.
Yeah,
two.
Yeah,
which is crazy.
Just they are, they are at least selling and being manufactured.
I mean, and we have a listener, a friend of the show who's in charge of deliveries.
Yeah,
and he is actively delivering vehicles day in and day out. So we have another friend who is actively working on these vehicles day in and day out.
Multiple. Yeah, there's a handful.
Yeah. We have another friend we have too many people who work for Rivian.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Who is traveling day in and day out, to work in these Rivian dealerships. Yep. So we've got a lot of people connected with this. Every single one of these people are like, we're jamming, like we're going, and obviously, their production numbers aren't anywhere near, I guess, where they should be or where they would want them to be.
They're higher than they were.
Well, I mean, it's climbing for sure, right?
Yeah. Trending in the right direction.
But like, is it possible that, hey, this investment, let's throw a Scout badge, let's put a new grill on, some new badging, Now we have our Scout.
And shore up some of that manufacturing.
Yeah.
Have the knowledge and logistics and operational knowledge of a company who has been mass producing vehicles for an extended period of time. Yeah. Share that data. Share that sort of stuff. At an insane
clip. I mean, Volkswagen bumps. I mean, it crush vehicles as far as like their output.
Right. Mexican plants, Tennessee plants, German plant, building everything everywhere.
Yeah. Pennsylvania, baby.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's great. Pennsylvania. The
Pennsyltucky.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see. Because it's clear that like Scout is like, well, Volkswagen or Scout was strong in their position of like where their price point is going to be for this vehicle.
Yeah.
And that price point is wildly different than Rivian.
Yeah.
But that's just the current Rivian. That's not what the Rivian price is going to be for the R2 or even the R3.
Right.
We knew the Scout was going to be a smaller statured vehicle than a full-size SUV and full-size pickup.
Scout still could fall under those other two.
It could.
Yeah.
Also, like,
easily,
Scout could be viewed as a value brand compared to Rivian.
Yep.
Just like I guess, what would you say? I'm trying to think of
Audi
else.
VW.
Thank you. Yeah.
Same idea.
I don't know. Just a thought. Again, like, I could be so off on this year. But, like, you know what? I don't want to keep harping back to the interview no one's heard yet. But, like, you will hear it.
Yep.
It's just, there's a lack of originality in thought.
Across the board, yeah.
In thought. And it's like,
yep.
I can read someone else's stuff on this, or it just, like, what I really do is I really don't read their stuff. I kind of just highlight the facts and surmise
develop your own opinion.
My own opinion on it. And that's where I'm coming from. Who knows? Could be right, could be wrong.
Right. If you read the whole article, then you're more likely to get influenced.
Yeah, I'm just going to regurgitate someone else's thoughts.
I just skim through. Yeah, skim through, get the facts, and I'm going to develop my own opinion.
That's just where I stand on that. I don't know.
Which could very much be the opposite of where the article ends, but I don't care.
But also, if you look at Volkswagen Scout like renders of when they were talking about putting, when they were going to make a Scout, I had to go back. I had to find original like Volkswagen bringing back Scout articles. Listen, all I'm going to say is like, kind of looks like a Rivian. It kind of looks like a Rivian. Now, all new vehicles are boxy, rectangular in standardized shapes. So you could like we could go back to the joke of like, oh yeah, it's got wheels, it's got tail lights, all that stuff.
Now that you say it's a Rivian, it's literally a Rivian. It very well could
we
be.
could just end up with a Scout Rivian thing.
Yeah.
Which I mean, I guess wouldn't be a bad thing. You
know? No, not at all.
So, yeah,
not even a little bit.
That's where I stand.
Here we go. I wanted to just bring this up. All the Americas, if everybody could just, I'm not one for prayer, but if everybody could just, open your Budweisers, point them at the sky, think about some bald eagles, and send some positive vibes to none other than John Force.
Yeah.
The NHRA driver, infamous, iconic.
John Force burnout, baby.
John Force level burnouts by Chris Reese in front of my old house. If you could just bring, some positivity to this man. He is a drag racing legend. About 2 weeks ago was involved in a pretty rough wreck. Let's see. John Force's harrowing ordeal began during the Virginia National when his car, accelerating to speeds near 300 miles an hour, experienced a catastrophic engine failure that resulted in a crash, sending his vehicle hurtling into concrete barriers, necessitating immediate airlift to a trauma center. The severity of his condition was evident as he was diagnosed with traumatic brain injury and placed under intensive care. His team revealed the gravity of those details in the initial days. There has been a recent update. Let me see this. And a matter of fact, it looks like the last update was on June 30th, and he did put out some words. John, let's see. Oh, yeah. So despite welcome progress, the 157-time tour winner still faces a long and difficult recovery ahead and for the immediate future. He will remain in neuro-intensive care with visitation restricted to immediate family members only. So he's got a long road, long recovery left after this accident. He is, alive, and it seems like he's going to stay that way. Let's see, TBI, traumatic brain injury. I'm trying to see just so I can confirm. I'm sure Matt Wood in the chat will know this off the top of his head, but I believe he's in his 70s. 70-year-old man. Still out there.
I just saw his daughter.
Still getting it. You did, right.
I did. I just saw his daughter. He is 75. I just saw his daughter put down Brittany Force level burnouts.
Yep.
And that was really cool. That, like, when I came back and I was talking about that racing from Epping.
Yep.
That's what I was watching. Obviously, I didn't watch the crash.
Yeah,
I wasn't in Virginia.
Yep.
But like that
Nitro dragster level.
Yeah. Very, very, very cool. Very entertaining. Well worth seeing. You don't want to see the crash because I couldn't even imagine seeing a vehicle crash at that speed.
Yeah. I just even being there, I think, like, in the crowd would be a bit of a, you're never going to forget. Like, I don't want to say, a traumatic experience for the most part, because the noise, the sound, the feel, and knowing like, fuck, somebody's in there.
Yeah.
That's just a wild, wild feeling.
Yeah. So
hell, I watched a clip. I think it was a recent race where an Audi TT, if I recall, basically looked like throttle stuck, and he was going at a clip directly heading for a wall. And the best thing that happened was another car T-boned him.
Really?
Yeah, because T-boned him. They still were both sent into the wall.
Yeah.
Hit the tire barrier, and the TT kind of did a flip, almost like a 360 flip turn, landed on its side and stuff. But had that car not hit him, that would have been way worse. I'm sure it was pretty bad to begin with. It could have been way worse.
Yeah.
Because he was at a clip, basically heading for a cement wall, nonstop. And I'm talking cutting over the track through the grass in a perfectly straight line. Yeah, wasn't looking good.
Yeah.
But this stuff, again, it's motorsport, and you get up to speeds like that in top fuel drag racing and all that sort of stuff. It's just like
330 to 40 miles an hour.
Yeah. Wild, wild stuff.
Yep.
A couple of quick ones. Fisker asks judge if it can sell remaining Oceans for just $14,000 each. If you want to get one and you're confident in your Fisker fixing abilities.
It's like a Rich Rebuilds or Tavares type situation.
Yep. So there is that. Let's see. Tesla recalls almost every Cybertruck over failing wiper motors. It's also recalling the pickup for bedside trim that could come loose or separate from the vehicle.
If that bedside trim came loose, that's like a serrated knife flying through the air. If they're talking about like a metal piece of it,
I think it might just be
or
the
like the
black plastic above the rear arches.
Also, like that wiper,
huge.
It's like a 4x8.
If that thing,
it's just like
it's literally right. It's a fucking 2x4 size wiper. Just it makes a noise when it goes by you. Just the wind moves your hair. So there's that. Let's see, what else did I have for car news? Did we talk about the GTR? They finally rolled off, or they will be rolling off the last of the GTRs, I think, this month off the line, supposedly, or they'll stop sale or something like that. But GTR, Ixnay on the Umbre on that one as well. Oh, there was a funny one. I didn't read this article, but I love headlines like this. Americans with guns are hunting Walmart's delivery drones.
Good.
Just hunting them down.
Good. Take them out. Take them out.
It doesn't say. Let's see. Walmart recently partnered with drone delivery startup Wing to offer packages shipped same day by air. There's a laundry list of hurdles to overcome in order for this to be a reality, from regulatory approval, technological integration, and simply making it cost effective to operate. One of the hurdles that Walmart and Wing have recently stumbled on is gun owners in, you guessed it, last week, a Florida man admitted to shooting down a Walmart delivery drone, which he claimed was surveilling him with a 9mm pistol as it flew over his house.
That's sick, with a 9mm?
9mm.
I like that.
Dude's a shooter. Let's see. Lake County resident Dennis Wynn saw the drone, went inside.
I'm not gonna lie, that's super irresponsible, but I get it.
He went inside to get his gun from his safe. He's a responsible gun owner. It was in his safe.
You're right. I misspoke.
And it gets better, and fired a single shot at the drone, which was roughly 75 feet in the air.
You know what? I retract my statement. It's responsible, gentlemen.
Wynn is apparently a crack shot because he hit the drone in the center mass, and the bullet hole was found in the drone's payload area once it returned to a nearby Walmart store.
Oh, so it didn't come
down?
It
didn't come down.
He went back to Walmart wounded?
He just wounded it. It's like hitting a buffalo in the ass.
Everyone knows you got to follow the trail.
That's
so it just went clear through?
Just clear through. Yeah, right in the old payload. He didn't hit it in the lungs or the neck where you probably should. You guessed it. He's an older gentleman. But it's definitely a crack shot. Let's see. It's apparently quite common for Americans to shoot at drones despite serious legal ramifications. The Federal Aviation Administration punishes any shots fired at drones with the same weight as if you'd open fire on a Boeing.
On a what?
On a Boeing jet. So
they have bigger issues.
There's no differential. They treat it the same if you take your shot.
So someone trying to peep at me in my backyard.
Yep.
Versus a Boeing jet 33,000 feet in the air.
Treated the same. Something says those rules might have to be adjusted in the future for those peeping Toms with technology. But Walmart says it is working to expand its drone delivery program, hoping to soon have the largest drone delivery footprint of any U.S. retailer.
I don't like drone delivery. I'm out.
I don't like it at all. I don't need it. There's really, there's nothing I can think of.
I don't even like same-day delivery. I don't need my shit that fast.
I was just going to say, there's nothing I can think of, nor the expense I want to pay to have or facilitate a drone landing anywhere near me for any reason. If I want it that bad, probably I'm going to be at operating hours of said store within 5 to 10 minutes of me that I can just fucking go drive to.
I can go there and get it myself.
Yeah. I just I'm not going to Taco Bell at 2 a.m. by drone. Probably not going to do that. I can't ever see why. Vin Diesel shows off 3 familiar muscle cars for Fast X Part 2, filming on Instagram. For those who didn't remember, Fast X Part 2 is still a thing, and it's still happening, and it will still be coming to a theater near you at some point. It started months ago when they revealed that the original Supra It's coming back.
I gotta get back on my watching train.
Oh, where'd you leave off at?
7.
Okay.
7 was the last one I watched.
Oh boy, you
So I gotta dive back in. I gotta get into 8.
watch
Fast 8. I think it's just Fast 8.
I don't know. I think I've skipped 6, 7, and 8, and then or maybe 9. And I do remember watching Fast X. So I something tells me I don't have to really fill in the gaps.
Let's see. Fast 5. I saw that. Fast 6. Furious. I might be on 7 actually. I might be, because I don't remember this cover. I might be on Furious 7. Yeah, I am, because the Fate of the Furious. I remember we were laughing about that. Yeah, I'm on 7. Wow. 7 came out.
You got a long
2015.
weekend. You got a long weekend in front of you.
I got so many things to do that don't involve watching this.
You can really clear your schedule and get it done. Let's see. I don't really have any other. I mean, this is a funny one. BMW is blocking sales of vehicles salvaged from last year's car carrier Inferno. What one was this? So this is not the Felicity Ace. This is not the one that sank to the bottom of the ocean. But nearly a year ago, the car carrier MV Fremantle Highway caught fire off the coast of Europe, where authorities feared it would sink. The ship survived, however, and some of the cars it was carrying were apparently in good enough condition to be salvaged or resold, or perhaps not, as BMW has sued to stop the salvage cars from hitting the market, insisting they are too far gone to be allowed on the road.
Yeah, we don't need that.
Interesting.
Take the L.
Yeah, just be gone. It is what it is.
Scrap the cars.
That's what I got. I think we can hit up some questions.
Yeah,
Big
see what
shouts
we
to
got.
Chuck. I don't know if he's still in the chat. He's probably catching up on sleep and house stuff. Let's see. Let's pop up these questions. We did have a couple to, really bring us into the holiday.
For the holiday?
Oh yeah, tomorrow, right? Is it tomorrow?
Hell yeah, brother.
Oh, yeah, the old
yeah.
Day of Independence. There we go. Hold on. Couple questions here and there. Let's see. Jordan MX_5. He just says the streets are calling after the donut meet.
The streets are calling.
Just out there getting it. ZT Foss. What catches your eye when looking at merch and makes you purchase? Great question.
Color.
Lately, it's been feel of shirt too.
Okay. So my answer immediately, my brain went to like online shopping.
Yep. Okay.
That's where my brain went immediately.
Yeah.
And it's color. It's color for me. If I like a design, I'm like, okay, and I see if it comes in multiple colorways, to kind of see which one I like the most. Because I was actually just telling you on the way back from dinner, like the black T-shirt in Lock City is a great example of this. Lock City rarely has a black T-shirt.
Right. They're always doing different tie-dye.
Rarely
ones
has
just
a black
recently.
T-shirt.
Yep.
I just see less and less black T-shirts.
Yep.
As time moves on, and it's like at one point it's like you go to, and you name it, car show, right?
Yep.
In every event it was black T-shirt, white print.
Yep.
I mean, you have one on right now.
I literally have so many in my closet. I had to empty out my closet, and I took probably 15 shirts, and I'm gonna store them here.
Yeah, I think that also gets in the way of trying to move some merch sometimes, because I think it's hard for people to like justify getting another black T-shirt with white print.
Yep.
When they have 30 others at home.
Yep.
It's tough, you
Yep.
know, to be like, and
Some
also,
people may just
T-shirts have gone up in price as well. Blanks have gone up in price. Labor has gone up in price.
Yep.
Everything's gone up in price. So T-shirts cost more now.
Right. So you really want to like invest in something you're going to wear,
Yeah.
versus another goth shirt.
Yeah, another. This one. This
Big
is a great
shouts.
example.
Big shouts to Kevin 11.
Yeah, dude. Shouts to Kevin 11. That's all right. We gotta get him here somehow.
We do. He's got a we'll let him smoke cigs inside. I don't care. Whatever.
Big cigs inside.
He can puff up whatever. He just needs to hang out.
Yeah. So for me, it's like colorway. Like I'm into that.
Yep.
And then also like what's the shirt?
Who's the brand? Because Nick Pizarro in the chat said whether or not I want to support the company. That's the thing, because I'll buy shirts even if I don't necessarily want them.
Yeah.
to support buddies and stuff. So
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
that's kind of different. Rarely am I like, actually, I can actually say the last couple that got me nothing car related were when I bought my Godzilla and Predator shirts, because it was like an Instagram. I don't know if it was an ad or somebody I follow. I think it's somebody I follow that makes t-shirts and horror t-shirts. And I'm like, all right, got to have that one. And it was solely because of the design. They're both black shirts, but it was different enough where I was just like, all right, I'm into those.
Yeah. Sweet. Yeah, that's it for me.
Big Shouts, Texas E36 Garage. I hadn't seen him in a while. So Big Shouts. Hope you're doing all right. Hope you're nothing's flooded. I know that was a big trouble a long time ago.
Yeah.
And let's see. There's actually a question here from G60 Tim Connors.
Yep.
How much money per week is a good allowance for a stepson? I think he's referring to Jordan.
I think he is. That's like blowing up Jordan's spot when he's posting on Gas and Master Parts. I always lowball him on there.
I applaud your approach to lowball him in every facet possible.
Yeah. I want to publicly lowball him. I think $20 a week.
Yeah, but there's some.
I think he's got some chores to do.
There's got to be chores established.
I think he's got some chores to do.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
He's got to mow the lawn,
we're going through that.
take out
with,
the trash, empty the dishwasher.
Going through that, Travis gets a bit of an allowance. It's a little bit different now. He's a working man, so that's a little bit different.
He's putting up those big hours.
Dessert Boy, I would just like him to let's call it a net positive instead of a net negative on the disaster that he causes.
Yeah.
The tornado that is him walking through the house of eating, drinking, doing laundry, all that sort of stuff. This morning, I will say, before we even got out of bed, obviously Emily came running in doing her thing. Shortly after that, he popped in. Hey, I'm like, well, first of all, it's before 9 o'clock and this kid's up. What the hell's happening?
Yeah.
And he's like, hey, I swept the dining room, swept the bathroom, did the dishes, put out the laundry. And we're
What
like,
did he break?
we're like, are you on drugs? Are you on drugs? What is happening? No idea. He was just up doing his thing. I thought, wait, did you even sleep through the night? Or you just, or like, what is happening?
The old all-nighter.
I'm kind of leaning towards that because little do you know, it's 1:30 in the afternoon. Who's taking a nap?
Yeah.
He's Dessert Boy sleeping it up. So
Yeah.
could have been that. But with him, we try to harness him and use him for his abilities. However, we sent him down and do some laundry. Next thing you know, clean laundry's on the floor. There's nothing in the dryer when it should be. There's bags missing. There's clothes missing. So it's just like, all right, we got to find what he's good at.
There's only 2 holes to put the laundry. Figure it out.
But then he goes down there, goes to grab it. Oh, I'm like, what's the matter? I forgot the bag. It's like, dude. All right, man. We're gonna find something that you're really good at.
Maybe he's really good at sweeping.
That's right. That could be his
Sweeping
forte.
and vacuuming might be his thing.
Could be his thing. But,
I'm a big vacuum guy.
Yeah, I love the vacuum.
Oh,
Love the vacuum.
I'll vacuum till the cows come home.
Love a good suck job now and again. I think that's a great place for us to leave. That is all for this week.
Yeah, thanks for joining us for our abbreviated show.
Yeah, we tied it all together. We're
I
gonna
think this worked out really well.
Put this out, and then this will drop, and you will hear our interview that we did with Tiernan from Auto T. His video, as you will learn, basically went viral in the automotive space on YouTube for good reason. So we wanted to talk to him about that, and we do. So you'll hear that in the next couple days. As always, thank you for joining us in general with this show. Next week, we have a guest. Next week, we've got a full. Nope. Where is it?
I'm gonna come.
Nope, not that one.
Right to jail.
Nope.
Do not come.
I got rid of it. Damn it. I was gonna say we're gonna give you the whole load today because next week we got a full cast of characters in. Chuck is back. Shook might be here. I don't know. But we do have some guests in studio as well. So there'll be a lot to cover between, I'm sure, all of Chuck's escapades and the guests in studio. So we will be back next week. Like I said, we're going to kind of change the format slightly. So I think this is a good place to do it. It's a good experiment to try.
Yeah.
So now you get 2 episodes a week, and hopefully that, tantalizes you. And if you want to skip the interview, you nope, just still listen to it. That's all. Don't skip it.
Yeah, play it anyway.
So that is that. Peace out, everybody in the chat. Thank you as always. Be safe. Keep your fingers. You know, if you're going to light fireworks, don't do it while you're drinking.
Yeah, don't do that. And we'll see everyone on Sunday.
That's it. Sunday, donut meet, 9 a.m. Be here or be not.
Loser.
I was going to say be not American, but it doesn't, you know.
Hey, maybe.
Yeah.
Hey,
So
you're welcome to.
come celebrate your Independence Day with us, you know. Let's bring it out.
Yeah.
That's all we got. Peace out.
See you later.